He was booed out of the building.
Boo.
This resulted in
Yo, what's going on, guys? Your boy JGM Wrestling back out here with another wrestling reaction video. Today's video, we're going to be reacting to WrestleMania's 10 Triple H's biggest mistake since taking over WWE. I ain't gonna lie, Papa H been cooking, but he does have some moments where he did make a little bit of mistakes here and there. I want to see what he has to say on what type of mistakes, and maybe we can all relate to him.
His biggest mistakes since taking over WWE. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos on follow.
Go subscribe to them and power bomb that subscribe button for your boy too as well on the road to 2K.
Follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlemania XL.
Alright, we out.
Number 10, glorified PR stunts. And whilst there's no question that the sheer quality of Raw, SmackDown and Premium Live events have drastically improved under Triple H, they aren't without criticism. A lot of fans feel that the shows are glorified PR stunts, and it's easy to see why so many fans feel this way. The debut of Raw on Netflix was WWE basically telling the audience how popular the product is, and they bragged endlessly about the gate number. Whilst promoting the gate number makes sense from a business perspective.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie, they have every right to talk their shit. I'm not gonna lie. They do. They do have every right to talk what they gotta talk. But it is true, they're kind of going a little overboard with it. But hey, that's why they're the #1 wrestling company right now.
It shows that the ticket prices are insanely high right now, and it puts fans in a weird position. Are they just supposed to cheer the fact that they were potentially overcharged to attend a wrestling event? Now, one thing is for sure, WWE is red hot right now, but they don't need to remind the audience every 5 minutes. The reception to the product, along with the rating.
Low-key, I think that's going to go down. I'm not going to lie. I think that's actually going to go down a little bit because they do got to hype themselves up for Netflix. But I feel like we already seen it. The first episode of Netflix was mainly just for newcomers, but the second episode on Netflix, that one was really wrestling based. So I think it's just going to slowly transition into going back to normal.
Ratings as well as attendance should speak for itself. This is definitely an element of the WWE presentation that Triple H is just obsessed with, and his infamous line of WWE is on fire right now and you ain't seen nothing yet has turned into a comedic meme on social media. Number 9, sponsorship overboard. A wrestling company such as WWE having sponsors isn't a new concept, yet this has been a pivotal focus of WWE's business model since around 2022. WWE have sponsorship deals from Prime to Fortnite, and these will bring in lucrative numbers for the company. But the problem here is that WWE potentially have too many sponsors. The map for Raw is now filled with logos and adverts, and it makes WWE's flagship show just look like one big advertisement.
Yeah.
Now, this may not even be a Triple H call. All these calls could likely go above his head. But WWE are definitely leaning towards a more UFC style of branding and marketing, and this is only likely to increase as the months and years go on. WWE even have a deal with Hulk.
To be honest, it doesn't really bother me a little. It doesn't bother me that much. Like, it's pretty dope how, you know, the typical wrestling fan loved the clean canvas and just it being, you know, white as it is. But I ain't gonna lie, like, it being black right now, it showing the different brands that are sponsoring them, it's not that bad, in my opinion. Like, you know, a lot of y'all might not like it. For me, it's like, I don't really care about it. As long as the wrestling is good, doesn't make it hard on the eyes, so.
Hogan's new beer company, and to promote this,
they need to take
even
that
had
out.
Hogan appear on the debut episode of Raw on Netflix, and naturally, due to Hogan's rotten reputation, he was booed out of the building.
Boo.
This resulted in mainstream news outlets picking up the story, and it vastly overshadowed the Netflix premiere. It was ultimately a terrible creative call that Triple H and WWE should have had the foresight to see.
To be honest, I don't even know if that was really Triple H. Now that I think about it, I mean, they had celebrities there, you know, because like I said, this first episode was supposed to be like Netflix based, new viewers. So the Hulk Hogan coming out really to just support his own company, not really support the WWE side. You can already tell off the bat. So I think that was another added layer of why he was really getting booed too. I don't think it was Triple H.
Number 8, the Wyatt 6. The Wyatt 6 debuted on WWE TV in the summer of 2024. WWE hit a home run with their debut. The group had an instant aura surrounding them, and the faction annihilating WWE staff members backstage was completely unique. Unfortunately, this was the standout moment of the group's run so far, as since then, the group has been presented as a special attraction, and they barely appear on television. It's evident that Triple H believes that keeping the group as special attractions will give them worth, yet the stories that the group have been involved in haven't exactly been fan favorites. The game has had a tough time striking the balance between the supernatural elements and their real-life stories. The latter of the two has been a definite triumph. However, in recent months, it looks like Triple H has moved away from this. The stable remains over with the audience, so it's not a total bust. However, the game needs to reevaluate the direction of the group.
Them and Final Testament, not gonna lie, Karrion Kross, y'all sleeping on Karrion Kross, not gonna lie. The guy has something. He can act. He has something, and I know he could do something with them.
Focus on a compelling angle that will at least help get the motivations and characters of the group across to the audience. Number 7. Pointless re-signings. When Triple H took over WWE Creative, one of his first aims was to rehire a lot of his favorite names that had been released under Vince McMahon's tenure.
Yeah, but
and this was the right call, as most of the names didn't receive an opportunity to show their skills on the main roster. And to his credit, the game has booked certain names incredibly well. Names such as Chelsea Green, Nia Jax, and even Bronson Reed have all had acclaimed second runs in the company, yet the same couldn't be said for everyone. Triple H brought back names such as Hit Row and Tegan Knox, and they did nothing whatsoever with them. The game basically brought them back into the mix with no creative plan in place. And this was the exact criticism that fans used toward McMahon when it came to NXT call-ups. When anyone is signed or re-signed to the company, there should be a plan in place before they appear on television. Without this, they'll lack direction, and the on and off again appearances on TV will quickly make fans lose interest, and ultimately fail to get them over to the level Triple H desires. Number 6. House show style PLEs. Now it goes without saying that Triple H books his premium live event match cards completely differently to Vince McMahon. McMahon often liked to stack his match cards, and sometimes the pay-per-view events, particularly WrestleMania, could run in excess of 5 hours in length. But Triple H likes to keep his events short and sweet, and he's received major backlash for sticking to a 5-match PLE format and rarely deviating away from this. Triple H's PLEs are...
I get it. It's both ways, to be honest. I feel like you should add up a little bit of the match card. Whatever. I feel like it should be a chart, right? Whatever is the best stories, give those, obviously the most time. But give opportunities to the people, like the Chad Gable versus Sami Zayn, bro. That low-key could have been in the PLE. Not gonna lie. And they had a good match, and that turn was good. Like you could even give freaking Chad Gable and Otis. Like, we want that still. Not gonna lie. Yes, it'll be dope to have on TV, but it'll be good to end it off on a PLE. Like, that's giving them an opportunity to shine. And at least, like, you don't even gotta give them a whole 30-minute match. You can give them a good 12-minute, 13 minutes, whatever they can do at that time frame, and still evolve the story even more to the next Monday or the next Friday. Like, that would make more sense to me rather than just seeing 5 matches only. Don't get me wrong. The matches here, though, I feel like some of them drag on too, because there's no commercials. So it's just like, you got somebody taking a bump, they roll out the ring, and then the ref starts counting, and it's all the way up to 6 right now. Within 6 seconds, nothing's happening. I understand it's to give them a break, but at the same time, it's like if you had more matches, it would be kind of like, okay, we know this is important, let's watch it. Let's take a break from now, another important thing, and we can have like something mid going on, which is what's happening. We don't have that, so I feel like that's what he's kind of talking about.
Great from an in-ring perspective, but they lack any substance. Some fans have labeled them as glorified house shows, and it's easy to see why fans have come to this conclusion. In Triple H's and WWE's mind, the PLEs sell out every single month without fail. So from a financial perspective, the formula works, yet they could do even better.
They could.
Adding 1 or 2 more matches onto the show and incorporating an element of unpredictability and excitement could take the events to the next level.
I'm gonna make a video on that too. That's another thing, bro. A lot of the things is so kind of predictable that it's getting tired, bro. Like, don't get me wrong. I understand Cody Rhodes is the hottest babyface right now, and he's a champ, cool, but he could be even greater if he chases the belt again.
Level and truly be the focal point of WWE's creative output. Number 5. How much is too much? And whilst Triple H has no issues with sticking to his established PLE match card formula, he definitely has no problem with taking on the burden of additional content outside of PLEs. Over the past few months, Raw has returned to 3 hours with there being no time limit on the show due to Netflix. SmackDown is now a 3-hour presentation. WWE have added regular Saturday night main event broadcasts to the lineup, and there are post shows left, right, and center. Again, this could all be a directive that is from a higher up in WWE,
which I'm pretty sure
could be
that
seen as way too much. This assertion is based on the fact that nobody knew WWE had a Saturday night's main event show planned for January, just 1 week before the 2025 Rumble. WrestleMania season is already a stacked time of year, and WWE needs to let the product breathe. Fans can only consume so much, and maybe putting a little extra content into the PLEs instead of random sporadic shows could be a great step forward in 2025. Number 4. Pushing the right names. The WWE have one of the most popular and beloved rosters they've ever had, but that doesn't mean that everyone is over with the crowd. Certain names receive virtually zero reaction every week, yet Triple H continues to book them on weekly television. Take for instance the Pure Fusion Collective. The lack of reaction has resulted in the faction conveniently being known as the No Pop Collective on social media. WWE may have been able to get away with pushing names that aren't over for a few years ago, yet when names are receiving Austin level pops on a weekly basis, these names stand out for all the wrong reasons. Triple H also received a lot of criticism in regards to the Netflix Raw debut, leaving out key popular players on the Raw roster, including World Heavyweight Champion Gunther not even having a match, even though
they put Cody Rhodes in there with The Rock. Like, I get it, bro, he's a babyface, but this is Raw. Like, bro, oh man, I don't know.
Receiving major pops on a weekly basis. But Triple H had something to say about this during an episode on the press box, saying, "I've had the same conversation with 100 people about this first episode of Netflix. I said, guys, it's one show. We're gonna try to, touch on a lot of people. There's only so much real estate within the show. You're not gonna be on that show. Maybe you'll be on the second one. Maybe you'll be on the third one. Like you're gonna be on these shows. We can't put all 200 talent or whatever we have on one show. It's just not gonna work, but it's how they should feel. It's how I would feel if I was talent." Now some are not buying this, as the many legends who appeared like The Undertaker and Hulk Hogan, they took up precious time from a match that...
Undertaker, I get it. Him coming out for Rhea, though, was like a little bit like... To be honest, I don't know about that one. I mean, it was dope. Rhea had good praise, you know what I'm saying? Like, they both did the thing. Rhea has a dark character, but she's still a babyface. Undertaker was dark as well, so I get it. But Hulk Hogan was a waste. I'm not gonna lie, that was just dumb, bro. Like, you could have added another match in that, low key.
Could have involved.
But the second episode was not bad. The second episode of Monday Night Raw was really good, especially with the debut of him.
World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. Number 3, Flop Gable. In 2024, it was confirmed that Chad Gable had re-signed with WWE. This was delightful news, as Gable had been delivering incredible work alongside Otis, and his matches with Gunther resulted in a number of classic bouts.
PLEs.
Fans hope that Gable will be able to finish his story and finally defeat Gunther to become Intercontinental Champion at WrestleMania 40.
Bro, they gave it to Sami Zayn, and it should have been Gable. My opinion, it should have been Gable. I wanted Gable to get that, but...
However, Triple H decided to go in the direction of Sami Zayn being the one to dethrone Gunther.
He's already a star.
Triple H would then embark on a heel turn for Gable, and whilst the character work for Gable has been great, he's mainly been used to put over other talent, which has become increasingly frustrating. Whilst this can be a good spot to be in, was this really what Gable expected when he re-signed with the company? But Triple H has also failed to deliver the hype Gable vs Otis feud, and he's proceeded to tease it for months on end, only to decide to deliver the match in late December after both men had already moved on. Hopefully Gable soon finds himself rewarded for his work.
Bro, that match, low-key, needs a title. Have Gable win it, low-key, against somebody. You could do it against Braun Breaker at this point, or whoever. He needs a title. Once he gets that title, bro, you can have Otis and him, because Otis can be chasing something. And it's always him being the master of, like, him stopping him. You know, a 2 out of 3 kind of thing, bro. Maybe Gable wins the first one, gets the belt. The second one, Otis can win, you know, by pin, outside ring victory kind of thing. You know, beating the count. And then the third one, you know what I'm saying? You can play it right there. Either Chad can win it, or you can give it to Otis. I don't even think the fans would be upset about that, because we want Otis.
And Gable is certainly a name that has the capabilities to be propelled into a main event role if he's given the opportunity. Number 2, the tag team titles. One of the main things that fans wanted to see when Triple H took over creative was a focus placed on tag team wrestling, specifically the WWE tag titles. When Vince McMahon had creative power in WWE, he had a love-hate relationship with tag team wrestling. McMahon would put focus on the division for a few months, then lose interest completely. This has been a similar approach that's been taken by the game, as since WrestleMania 40, the tag titles on both brands hadn't been featured on a single premium live event. This is a shocking statistic, and it highlights what Triple H truly thinks of the tag team titles. The presentation of the tag titles over on...
I think what's going on, bro, is that Triple H wants to have singles title kind of be the highlight, whether it's the WWE Championship, whether it's the World Heavyweight Championship, United States Champion, Intercontinental Champion could sometimes be in PLEs, and then the tag team titles can just stay on the shows because it's gold. Like, they can still use gold in the shows. So I get it, but they need to elevate, because what's the point of this?
SmackDown hasn't been appalling, as DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns have been standouts. However, the same couldn't be said for Raw. The tag titles that are currently on Raw are classed as the most worthless titles in the company, and it was heavily criticized that the Judgment Day barely defended the titles during their reign of terror.
That was horrible, bro.
In fact, out of all the days that they were champion, they only made 2 defenses. Now, tag team wrestling can be a great addition to any card, and putting resources and effort into making their titles mean something would certainly be a welcome step forward for the game. And number 1, call it a day. A long-term storytelling is sometimes vital in major stories getting over in pro wrestling. For Triple H, he views long-term storytelling as the number 1 storytelling device available to him. The game loves to tell a story over a period of months or years, and this was a far cry from the approach that McMahon would take, as he would often try to wrap things up as quickly as possible, even at times not even ending them at all. While certain long-term storylines under the Triple H era, notably the Bloodline saga and Cody Rhodes' story, have been expertly crafted, some long-term stories have really fallen flat.
Don't even get me wrong, the Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, like, that story is not that bad, but like, there's no speculation. They should have been a speculation in this.
Morgan versus Rhea Ripley rivalry dragged on for months with lazy storytelling and lousy matches, and this resulted in the fans urging for Triple H to wrap up the feud and just move on. In fact, the feud was initially set to culminate at WrestleMania 41, which would have meant that the game decided to keep the feud running for an entire year. Triple H without question has a habit of not knowing when to change things up, and this could be detrimental in the future, as it's vital that Triple H acknowledges how fans are feeling and adapt accordingly. But there you have it, folks, 10 of Triple H's biggest mistakes since taking over WWE.
Yes, I ain't gonna lie, he's actually right. They were his biggest mistakes, man. Triple H is human. You know, he can create all that he can. He has his people under him to produce the matches and the stories. But not gonna lie, in my opinion, I feel like there's just a lot of predictable stuff instead of being surprise moments. Wrestlers should have been on PLEs when they're not, and they'd rather just be on a show and end that story when it could have evolved even more. And like, there's 200 talents, yes, but bro, you can change them up. People are not going to forget, and if they do forget and you bring him back up, it's like, oh wow, I forgot about him. Let's see what he can do this time. So there you have it though. Shout out to WrestleMania for making the video. This video was pretty dope. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a like real quick because this video was kind of fire. Go subscribe to them just like how I am. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to your boy. Power on the subscribe button for me right now on the road to 2K subscribers. Peace.